Hi everyone, I'm Gina K from Gina K Designs and your host of Stamp TV. I'd like to welcome you to our new release party presentation. Tonight you will get to see many of the new products being released in action right here in this video presentation, along with some useful tools. At any time, feel free to click on the links below the screen to play along with our contest questions, challenges, and to see all of the stamp sets in full, along with the beautiful samples created by our design team especially for you. The techniques from tonight's release party presentation will be archived in our videos section at stamptv.com for viewing whenever you like. And if you're the partying type, we have a party chat thread going strong where you can hang out with the design team and me from now until 9 p.m. Central Time. And the best news is, all of the products are already available in our store at ginakdesigns.com, so you don't have to wait until 9 o'clock to place your order. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's release party presentation. Stately Flowers 3 is the third in the series of State Flower stamps by Melanie Menchinger. This set includes Alaska, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Montana, and the beautiful flowers that represent each of those states. Like all of Melanie's Stately Flowers stamp sets, these images are a joy to color, and the greetings are a perfect addition to your collection. I'd like to show you how I color the beautiful Forget-Me-Not image using regular Bic Market markers. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to color this flower. First, you're going to need the stamp, and I'm choosing the larger Forget-Me-Not. There are two sizes in this set, which is really nice because you can do pretty borders with the smaller one and then use the larger one for a focal image. I'm going to use some Memento Tuxedo Black, and I love this ink because whenever you're using any kind of alcohol markers, whether it's the Bic Market markers, Sharpies, Copic, or any of the other alcohol markers on the market, you don't have to worry about this kind of ink smearing. It doesn't need to be heat set or anything. It's just stamp and go. Then you're going to need some cardstock, and I'm using some of the Gina K Designs Pure Luxury White cardstock. And then I have a few Bic Market markers. And the first color I have is Playful Purple. And then for the lighter purple color, I have Polynesian Purple. Then I have a green one here, and this one is Lime Sorbet. I have a yellow for the center of the flower, and this one is called Yellow Blaze. And then I have a brown called Honey Brown. So those are the markers you're going to need. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start by inking up this flower image. You want to make sure it's nice and inked up so you get a good crisp image. And you will just love the way our pre-cut stamps give you a crisp image every time. Alright, so there. Nice crisp Forget-Me-Not image. And like I said, you don't need to wait to color. This is already ready to go. I'm going to start with the lighter purple, which is the Polynesian Purple. I'm going to color in all of the petals of the flowers. Now you don't have to worry about any shading at this point because we just want to lay down a nice purple color for these beautiful Forget-Me-Nots. Now, I've did a little bit of research because every time Melanie comes out with these gorgeous flowers, I like to go online and look at real ones. So I did a little Google search of Forget-Me-Nots, and I found that they come in a couple different colors. You can do these in blues, which looks stunning, or you can do these in purples. And I've chosen to do the purples today because when I show you my finished card project, you're going to see that I've used our new Wisteria Lane pattern paper pack, which is just full of gorgeous purples and lavenders and beautiful sage greens. So I wanted to make sure that I would be able to use that pattern paper pack along with this focal image. So I'm almost done here. You can see I'm just kind of using the side of this marker. And these are the fine markers, and then there's the ultra fine markers, which I'm going to use in the darker purple. And I'll show you that. And you can see I'm leaving the centers uncolored here because in real forget-me-not flowers, the centers are yellow. So I'm going to make my centers yellow too. But remember, when you're coloring and you're making cards, maybe you need pink flowers. It's okay to color these any color you want. You don't have to stay true to the real color. As long as it's a beautiful project and it's colors you enjoy, that's all you need. Okay, so now my next step is to take some of that playful purple, and here's the ultra fine tip. You can see that that is not a very thick tip the way the other one is. And I'm just going to color right over the lines that Melanie has created in the image. So you really don't have to think very much. You just have to find the lines that she created in those flowers and color over them. And I'm just kind of scribbling a couple little lines here. I'm not really being too exact and right over her lines. I'm just kind of doing my own thing, but in the same area where her lines were. Okay, and I can see I missed one of the flowers, so let me quick color that in up here. This one isn't going to need any shading anyway. And then I'm also going to color this little bunch here in the purple and then accent it with the dark purple. There we go. Now again, using this playful purple, I'm going to just go over the little lines that Melanie has created in this little bunch of buds here. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the Polynesian purple and I'm going to color over those same exact lines that I just highlighted using the playful purple. I'm just going to pull that color down. See that? I'm not going to worry about where it goes to. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit onto the flower petals. Once you hit that dark purple with the light purple, it creates a third color purple, which is somewhere in between, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. See that? That just gives it a nice little bit of shading in there. And again, same thing over the other lines. You can bring a little down onto a petal that doesn't have lines too. Not all of them have the lines, but once you get a little bit of that darker ink on your marker, you can kind of shade other areas too if you want to. There we go. And then to remove any of that dark purple that got on this marker, you can just color off a little bit on your scratch piece of paper and all of that will go away. Now I'm going to use that yellow blaze color and accent the centers of my flowers. And if you go a little bit onto the purple, it turns a really neat deep honey color. So do a little bit of that. Gives it a little bit of shading all built in. There. And now because I want a sage green, but I don't have a sage green marker in the Bic Market markers, what I'm going to do first is color my entire image using the honey brown. When I say my whole image, I mean the whole stem area. Just like that, just color those stems. And then to turn my lime sorbet into a sage green, I'm just going to color that lime right over that brown. And the browns will mix with the lime and you'll get more of a sage green color. Nice deep green. And again, because these are alcohol markers, they do reactivate when you hit them with the next color and they blend very nicely. So there, now I have my deep sage stems on my beautiful flower. Now let me show you my finished card project that I did. Here it is, and I used the beautiful new Wisteria Lane pattern paper. behind my focal image, and I cut out that image using just the largest classic ovals Spellbinders dies. And then I used the lacy oval for behind it, and this color is the Vibrant Violet, which is a beautiful match to our Wisteria Lane pattern paper pack. I added a little bit of our Vibrant Violet grosgrain ribbon, and then I did a little of our fresh asparagus inside of it just to kind of accent the greens that you see throughout the piece. And then the whole thing is matted on top of a 120-pound Gina K Designs Pure Luxury white card base, so it's nice and sturdy. And I love this greeting that's in this stamp set, "You inspire me." How many times do we have secret sisters through the different forums where we want to send our stamping friends a little gift and make them a card? And who inspires us more than our stamping friends who contribute the beautiful cards to the galleries at Stamp TV and other forums out there on the internet? Although you'll love coloring these images with markers, colored pencils, and watercolored paints, these images also look stunning embossed in gold or silver. For those of you who loved Tammy Mayberry's You Go Girl stamp set, you're going to adore the newest edition, Girl Talk. I got so excited when Tammy first revealed this stamp set to me because I know how many of you make beautiful craft items for craft sales, and you're already getting started for the next holiday selling season. Aside from fun and playful cards that you can make for your girlfriends, this set is perfect for cute and whimsical refrigerator magnets, a great craft sales seller. The sayings will give you a chuckle each morning as you head to the kitchen to start your day. And I want to show you how easy it is to make these refrigerator magnets using this stamp set and some basic gray large magnetic discs. Let me show you the tools and products you need for this. Okay, first, you're going to need a little panel to start with, and what I've done here, and I love this saying, what I've done here is stamped the box image with the girl, and I colored it in using some Copic markers. And then I stamped the greeting. I get enough exercise just pushing my luck right here onto this box. I love that. That's so cute for the refrigerator. And then I've cut out some panels. I used some of our red hot cardstock, and then I used some of our white cardstock and created a square, just rounded a rectangle rather, just rounded the corners, and then put one of the large scalloped squares behind it. Then I've cut a panel that's a little bit smaller, and you can see that that fits inside that red part. Now, you're also going to need some of these basic gray magnetic discs, and I have the large ones here. You can also use the small ones. It really doesn't need a lot of power to hold up this small little card. However, if you do plan to use the refrigerator magnets to hold artwork and things like that up on the refrigerator, you may want to use the larger magnets. So when you open these magnets, you'll notice that there are plus and minus versions of the magnet. It doesn't matter which one you use when you're making a refrigerator magnet. It only matters when you're bringing two pieces of a card or a project together with the magnets. You're not doing that, so you can use either one of these. So I'll just grab the first one here. Happens to be a minus. Oops. I forgot, there's a little piece there. Okay, that'll make it easier to come out. Now, I'm going to peel off that little piece of paper here that says minus, and underneath there is sticky stuff. And I'm just going to pop that right into the center of my magnet and press down nice and tight. Then using some score tape, and you can use any size score tape. I'm using the 1/2 inch because that's what I happen to have in my collection right now, but you can use any size. I'm going to just do the perimeter of that little extra panel that I made. And score tape holds everything down so well, and it's so easy to work with because you can just tear it instead of having to cut it. Let me remove the little protective paper here. Go, and one more. There. And now I'm just going to lay that on top of the magnet And for this panel, I'm using the 80-pound layering weight because I want a very thin cardstock here so that it doesn't create even more of a barrier between the cardstock and the magnet. And I'm just pressing down to make sure that's sealed in, and that magnet's not going to go anywhere. And that is ready to just pop on to the refrigerator. And you can see here, I stuck it to this pack of magnets, so you can see that it definitely has a nice firm grip. You'll be able to just pick that up. So that will stick to your refrigerator or any other metal surface that you want to place it on. Well, along with great cards and refrigerator magnets, this set would make cute calendar pages, girls' night invitations, and even adorable bag tags. Last summer, our daughter Alicia went to India. Now, being an artist, one of the things she loved was the beautiful Mendy art. Mendy art is also used to create beautiful henna tattoos, and Alicia came home with her arms and her hands covered in this beautiful style of art. When Rupa Shevda presented her new stamp set, Mendy Wishes, I instantly fell in love. Along with these beautiful Mendy-style images, this set is loaded with greetings that will help you make cards of encouragement for all of those you love. Let me show you a pretty background technique using the Mendy Wishes stamp set. What I have here is a piece of our tan leather cardstock. And I have some Potter's Clay Memento ink. I have a Sakura Stardust pen in Clear Star. And I have the Mendy flower image from the Mendy Wishes stamp set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this stamp set, and I'm going to randomly stamp this flower image all over the textured side of the tan leather cardstock. Now with a stamp like this, you're going to want to turn it each time you stamp so it doesn't look too much like it's a sequential pattern, but more like it's just a random, beautiful image going throughout this background paper. You're going to find that these images stamp so nice and crisp, even on this textured surface. A couple more. And one more down here in the corner. Now what I'd like to do with this is I would like to accent some of the little parts of the flower using some of the glitter pen. So I'm just going to start the pen a little bit off of my card, and then I'm going to color just parts. So I'm going to color this little area right here, the little top of this flower. And then I'm going to color down there and just follow along with this line right there. Then I'd like to color these two little loop things right here and color in that circle and just accent around the perimeter of this almost like a paisley looking shape. I'm going to accent a little around this one and make sure I go down this side here, and I'll fill in this area here. And then my last area is this open flourish, and I'll color that in as well. Now in doing that to all of the background images, you're going to give yourself a beautiful, subtle look, but it's going to just shimmer when the light hits it just right, and I'll show you that in the finished project. Let me show you the finished project that I did using this stamp set. Here I've taken one of the beautiful greetings from the stamp set, Courage is Fear That Said Its Prayers. And I've cut this out using some Nestabilities dies and mounted the whole thing onto an oval with a lacy oval behind it. And then I've taken the panel, put it on some ivory cardstock, and then put it on a tan leather card base. I added a little bit of ivory gold line ribbon in there just to give it a little bit more shimmer, and you can already see the shine that I'm getting from the background there. But let me show you what that looks like with the no glare lights. Take a look at all of that beautiful sparkle that you see in that background. And then what I did was I added a little bit of extra Sakura Stardust pen right along the perimeter of that oval. And then on the fancy tags too cut out here, that where I stamped the greeting, I also added a little bit of glitter just up in here, and I highlighted the little ends of each of the flourishes on that beautiful die cut so that it all coordinated beautifully together and gave lots of sparkle and shine. Don't limit yourself to stamping these images in neutral colors. Use them for brightly colored cards, beautiful scrapbook accents, emboss them in gold and silver, and even have a little fun by getting some child-safe ink and creating your own gorgeous Mendy tattoos. Teresa Momber has done it again by creating a gorgeous new stamp set featuring stunning images from nature called Whimsical Spring. Along with fabulous images to color with markers, colored pencils, and watercolored paints, Teresa has given us 2 images that work together for one of my favorite techniques, two-step stamping. I'm going to show you how to use the two-step stamping technique to create a quick and easy card that's so much fun to make. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to do this. First, you're going to need 2 colors of ink, and for this one I'm using Pear Tart and Rich Cocoa, both by Memento. Then I'm using the solid sprig of leaves and the line art sprig of leaves, and I'm going to use the greeting that says congrats. I'm also going to add a little accent later, which I'll show you by using one of our paper piercing templates. And this is just a little piece of a mouse pad that I cut so I have a little cushion, and the Tim Holtz craft pick. And I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon to that, which I'll show you in a bit. So to start, I have a piece of our Gina K Designs ivory cardstock, and I'm going to begin by stamping the solid leaf image randomly across the top of the card. Now, although this looks like the bottom, I'm just going to flip it over when I'm done. And again, you can see I'm turning the stamp with each impression so that it doesn't look too much like a pattern, but more random. Let's do this one this way. And we'll add one more right here. Okay, so there are my leaves. Now I'm going to change out this stamp from my block and put on the line art one. Now, if you are a stamper that really, really likes to be exact, you want the images to overlay perfectly, then I would say use the Stamp-A-Majig. And even if these were clear stamps, I would say use the Stamp-A-Majig, because it is difficult to nail it right on top every time. But I happen to like that little bit of staggered look when two-step stamping. So, but you can get a really good idea of where you should be stamping just based on the shape of the stamp on the acrylic block. So now I'm going to stamp this up using some of the Memento Rich Cocoa ink, and I'm just going to stamp that right on top. Now you can see I did that right on, but that doesn't always happen for me. It is pretty easy because of the shape of the stamp and the way that it's cut, but some of them may not be so perfect. I'll do the next one. There we go. See, that one's not so perfect, but I really like that look. I think that looks very modern and very graphic, the way you see a lot of signs and advertisements and things. I really like that look. Okay, there's my next one. And there we go. This is so much fun to do. It looks different every time, and that makes it even more fun. All right, so there, now I have my leaves all done. Next I'm going to stamp the word congrats down near the bottom, right about here. And I'm going to put a little piece of ribbon over that, just like that. Maybe I'll put it up a little bit higher on this one. On my finished card project, which I'll show you, I stamped the leaves a little bit higher and finished off the edge with the ribbon, but this is kind of pretty, just maybe even right like that. So I'm going to, so you'll get two different looks here. I'm going to tack that down using a little bit of my mono adhesive. This is the dot adhesive. I really like this. Now, what you might want to do is run a little bit of that adhesive down so that it's not moving all over on your card once your card is finished. But I like to do that after I secure one side on the back. There we go. And now I'm going to put the whole thing onto a chocolate brown panel, which I cut just 1/8 of an inch bigger than my focal image piece. So there is my card. Now, it seems to need a little bit of something right here in this area. Not every card needs brads or eyelets to have a nice little finished accent. Sometimes you can do that just with holes. And by just doing it with the holes, it does make it a little bit less expensive to mail because it doesn't have any bulk at all. And it creates maybe even a little bit more of a masculine look than using jeweled embellishments. So what I have here is our paper piercing template. And I'm just going to lay that right up against the right angle of the ivory part of that card. Or you can go all the way to the brown part. It doesn't matter. Whatever works best for you. We can do it like that. That really makes it easy. And then I'm going to pick a line that I want to pierce on. I think I will use this one. And I'm going to start just a little bit in. And my tool is going to rest right in that bottom corner of that square. So I'm going to make one hole, and then I'm going to skip a hole and go to the next hole, skip a hole, go to the next hole, skip a hole, go to the next hole, and I'm going to keep doing that until I get a little row there, just like that. Then you can go back in with your tool, and you can make the holes a little bit bigger if you want, just by sticking them in there and pressing down a little bit harder. And that gives such a nice little accent for an area where you really don't want to have a whole lot of weight or even anything, really. It just gives a little nice little touch. Now let me show you the finished card project that I did. Like I told you, on this one, I actually stamped up a little bit higher, so I used the ribbon to kind of finish off that edge. And I also stamped one of the gorgeous butterfly images from the set, and I cut it out, and then I kind of folded it in half a little bit so it would look like it was flying off the card, and I secured that with a 1/4 inch pop dot. And that is a cute little card of congratulations. Once you start playing with this stamp set, you may want to take it up a notch by thumping on the solid image first, and then adding the outline on top for even more depth and dimension. With each new release, we offer a special stamp set that you can get for free when you purchase any 3 full-size stamp sets in one order. This month, the new one free with 3 is called Fresh Start. I love the images in this stamp set because they give me a chance to play with some of the techniques that require solid, chunky stamps. You can use these stamps for techniques like kissing, thumping, emboss resist, and more. The images feature beautiful signs of spring, including a budding tree, beautiful flowers, and sweet baby birds. And the greetings are a perfect match to these images with sayings like, Each day is a chance to begin again. Great things take time, and more. You can qualify for this set by ordering any 3 full-size stamp sets and then click on the What's Free button and add this set to your cart. After months of planning and purchasing the right printing and cutting equipment, we are so happy to offer the new Gina K Designs Pure Luxury Pattern Paper Packs. Just like all of the Pure Luxury products, you will immediately feel the difference when you work with this luxurious pattern paper. And the best news is, these pattern paper packs coordinate perfectly with our Pure Luxury cardstock colors that you know and love. And not only are we offering these pattern paper packs, but now you can purchase the coordinating cardstock packs, so you'll have everything you need to make beautifully coordinated projects. Let me show you how nicely these go together. First, here's our new wisteria lane full of purples and greens and chocolate browns. And then the coordinating cardstock pack includes our chocolate brown cardstock, our cream de mint, our vibrant violet, and fresh asparagus. And you can see how beautifully that coordinates together. Next, we have the Casual Friday pattern paper pack, and I just adore this one. This is perfect for masculine cards. It's perfect for any kind of card where you want a warm, cozy fabric feel. And let me show you the beautiful coordinating cardstocks that go with it. Here is our chocolate brown, tan leather, smoky slate, and in the navy. What a nice collection that is together. And finally, our third pattern that we have is the red carpet. And the red carpet pattern paper pack is just gorgeous with all of these neat graphic styles with red hot and lemon drop and that beautiful aqua shade in there. And let me show you again the pattern paper, the coordinated cardstock pack that you can purchase with this, and how beautifully this goes together. Okay, so there we have chocolate brown, ocean mist, red hot, and lemon drop. Again, perfect coordination for all kinds of projects. These luxurious 6x6 pattern paper packs retail for $5.95, and you get 24 sheets, 3 sheets of each pattern. Our Pure Luxury matching cardstock collections retail for $6.95, and you get 5 sheets, each of 4 coordinating cardstock colors. Now the hardest part of making beautifully coordinated projects is deciding which one to choose first. Hi everyone, I'm Gina from Gina K Designs and Stamp TV, here with an invitation for you to join us tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time at stamptv.com. We will be broadcasting our release party presentation video full of tips and techniques featuring a few of the new stamp sets being released tonight, including our new Pure Luxury pattern paper packs. All of the contest questions, challenges, full stamp set reveals, and products will be available at 7 p.m. Central Time when the party begins. And for those of you who like to chat, hang out with other stampers, meet the design team, and see beautiful projects featuring the new stamp sets, our party chat thread will be going strong from 7 to 9 p.m. The party starts on the home page of stamptv.com. We hope to see you there.